Alright guys, what is going on? It's been a little bit. I decided I was messing around with it. I wanted to know what happened if you put 12 volts to it. So it ended up eating one of the blades off one of the halves. So I printed it. I actually printed it in a different PLA. I printed an Overture matte PLA. Surface quality might not be as good, but I want to figure out if I could see if I can find out the power number. So I'm going to test voltage. Then I'm going to look around, see if I can find an LED. And if I don't, soak the multimeter and short it out. I'm going to test the amperage, and then I'm going to see if I can come up with a power number for you guys, because I know a lot of people have been requesting a part 2. I've just been super busy with school. I actually just finished school, so I should have a little bit more time. So this video is going to be testing the power. It's going to be on the hose. The mount got a little bit messed up because I think there was weight sitting on it. It might have been my car with some heat and some weight. So it got kind of bent. Had to change over, and I had to take off the splash guard. So I'm probably going to get completely soaked shooting this video, but if I can get the video, not destroy the camera, and not destroy my multimeter, it's going to be pretty successful if you ask me. So let's head on out there and test voltage first. Alright, this seems to be the only spot that the camera didn't get wet, so you can see the two different colors and how it is. The nozzle isn't perfectly aligned, but if we get a test, so I'm going to switch the multimeter on, hook up the clamps, and I'll start the test, and then I'll grab the camera and try and show you guys there. Everyone's taking their trash out right now, so it's gonna be kind of awkward, but here we go. Let's see what we got. It's okay, water never hurt a little bit of electronics, did it? Let's see what we get. Alright, like I said, I do have to adjust the angle and where it's positioned, because that'll change the efficiency. We can see the two different halves, and the nozzle is a little bit crooked, but hey, it gives the test. And I also think the motor favors spinning the other way due to it being a negative value, so it might be more efficient going the way it should. But let me show you. You can see, actually, everywhere else is completely soaked, but this survived that. Alright, let's work it up. That is max pressure right there. You can see it's a nice little waterfall. So we're hovering right around 10.58. So, like I said, that'll probably change because the way the water's hitting, it is going up into the actual middle part instead of staying on the blade. So I'm gonna have to print another one and try and keep the angle down. Maybe I can just try and angle it by hand. Let me try that, see if it changes the number at all. Because then I can just print a new mount. Let's see. I'm gonna get soaked. Oh yeah. It's just raining all over me now. You can hear where it's hitting it. Oh, the poor multimeter. Oh, the multimeter is soaked now. I'm soaked, the multimeter's soaked, the camera's soaked. But yeah, we figured that out. So maybe I'll go over, design the change, see if I can get that on there so it works a little bit better. You saw it cranked up to 12 volts. So before I do that, I'm actually gonna try and find that light bulb, see if we can test that current before I do anything else. So then we can just get a baseline at that 10.7, 10.6. And then I'm gonna line the nozzle and hopefully bring you guys a better video, because it's a 12 volt motor, and I want to see, actually, is this 12? Yeah, 12/24. So I guess if you spin it fast enough, but that was actually full pressure on the hose, but it will spin. Like if I just crack it a little bit, you can see that's just barely open, splashing everywhere. Oh, I'm so sorry, multimeter. Yeah, I'm gonna reprint that splash guard because this is ridiculous. I'm getting completely soaked out here. But even here, so that's barely cracked open. If I adjust this angle now, so it's actually slowing it down with the water, but let me go dry some things. I need to go dry the multimeter, dry the camera. I guess I'll live, I won't melt. But yeah, let me go out there. I think I actually have a 12 volt LED laying around, so I'll wire that in, get an amperage, and we can figure out how much power it's making, even with it being inefficient, and we'll go from there. See you guys. All right, so it seems kind of silly, but we're gonna try it. I have one of these actual the high precision watt and power analyzer, so I'm gonna put this with some alligator clips, so there might be a little bit of power loss through here. And I couldn't find the light, so we're gonna try it with a geared 12 volt motor. These actually take quite a bit of power to turn, so I'm not sure if it's actually even gonna spin it. I might have to look for the light because of the load, but this should tell us wattage, power, and voltage going in. So I'm just gonna plug this into the power. It's funny, we're using water to spin a motor to measure the power to spin a motor, but we're gonna go through, I'm gonna wire it all up. I'm gonna see if it even works. If not, then I'll have to go figure out the whole light situation. But I figured this is a real life test because while you might be powering lights, you might sometimes be powering something a little bit more. But this spinning slowly will make that motor spin very quickly. This only needs 110 RPM versus that I think is a couple thousand RPM to make 12 volts. So it's a good test. We'll find out. I don't think it'll burn this out, but this might get burned out or shorted out because it's definitely not waterproof. But who knows? That's why we're testing. Let's find out. All right, guys, I got it all hooked up, and there might be even more voltage drop just because I'm trying to keep everything kind of dry. So it's all the way over here. And just for the test, I got it hooked up, but let's make sure that this is reading, because it should still read voltage even without the power and amperage. So let's make sure this is still working. And overabundance of hose too. All right. You know what, let's just give it full power. You can see it's reading. Oh, if it focuses. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Alright, there you go. You see, it's still got the 10 point. It's fluctuating a little bit. 10.5, we'll call it. Alright, let's hook this motor on. See if it will hear a sound difference. Oh, not really. There you go. Right now it's outputting 1 watt. And 0.1 amps. You can see that motor's just, focus, you can see this motor's just slowly chugging along. Let me see if I aim this, if we can get a little bit more power out of it. It's not too much change, but 1.3, 1.1 watts, so changing a bit, but I think, let me just power this down. I think once I make those changes, get it a little bit better, we could be up to, say, 1.5 watts of power. It might even be a little bit higher, but I want to try and get this up to about 40-50 watts. But hey, if you just have it slowly charging a battery at 12 volts all day long, it's not going to matter how many won't matter. Well, I guess unless you're using the battery faster than you're using, if you're depleting the battery more than you're charging it, then it'll matter. But I want to see where I can get this project to go. If you guys have any suggestions or want to see anything, let me know. But now we got the power out of the way. We know we're making 1 watt. Not as much as I'd hoped for, but hey, it's a good start, and there's a little bit of changes that can be made. The splash guard, I think we can print that right now, because that might be the worst, getting completely soaked. As you can see, the entire driveway, and me, in the camera, is completely soaked. So I'm gonna work on the splash guard. I'm gonna print a new nozzle holder. Might make it a little bit shorter or a little farther away, so this way it's in the perfect spot. So yeah, I got a little bit left to do, but hey, it's working and it's all we want. So let me know, like and comment. See you guys in the next one.